Hello, my gaming alkalites. The world is burning to the ground, and here we are talking about video games. Life's not fair, and neither was Summer Games Fest trailer for Dragon Age the Veilguard. To fix the big poop, they've been managing the damage the This Isn't Dragon Age groups have been making, and to be frank, for those of us that noticed that gameplay seemed far too simple. There's a group of people going around claiming Dragon Age is woke now, of course. I wonder if these guys ever get tired loudly admitting they're racist. But we're not here or there. We're gonna ignore that. Right now, we're gonna go over BioWare's Q&A from their Discord. Now, we did a video of a few days ago on the last dump of information for them, but this was provided by Shinobi as well, Shinobi 602. We are once again using them who summarize everything so well for us. But also, there is an hour-long video that they themselves put up, and I will be sure to put the link in the description area for all of you who want to actually listen or watch the video itself. Thank you. Okay, so up first is asked about the world. Takes place 10 years after Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, makes sense. The Inquisitor will definitely be part of the story. You can go back to previous location. Okay, I'm not surprised people asked this question because there were actually a large amount of people who weren't sure if part of it because you didn't start Inquisition or you didn't see the Inquisitor. Sure, every Dragon Age starts you off with something different, someone different at a different location, and things typically collide. But for instance, like the Dragon Age 2 and the war between the Templars and the Mages and all of that coming into a head was an Inquisition, just not direct because of Hawk, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, might as well answer someone's question, right? That's nice. You can go back to previous locations you visited to do side contact, etc. Good. Very good. So I go to a big area like what we saw in the trailer, bombs going off and stuff, all that ends, okay. It's handcrafted. You know what, actually I'm very glad about that because it means it's not just gonna be a move forward thing. Good. Everything is handcrafted, curated. It's very good because the difference between a fetch quest and a handcrafted fetch quest is that every quest more or less is a fetch quest. They tell you get something, you go get it, right? Makes sense. Bam. But The Witcher 3, every little had something going on. The NPCs were very interesting. It wasn't just go get me an apple. It'd usually be like, okay, I'm gonna go get this apple, and then it turns out I don't know, a dragon is guarding the apple because her ex-boyfriend is a human and she can't go see the family because her father's a dragon slayer. You know, some weird ass shit, right? So another group that did a good job with this would be actually Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I love how they introduced the quest in that game. Very good. Both of those games, fantastic. If we're getting stuff like that, then that's great. And to be frank, Mass Effect did the same thing. They did definitely have just fetch quests, but a lot of them were also very involved and meaningful. Love it. There's no progression block in Veilguard, unlike Inquisition, which had the power mechanic. Fuck the power mechanic. Fuck the power mechanic. I enjoyed Inquisition for what it was. A lot of stuff that I didn't like, but a lot of stuff that I did. The power mechanic sucked because you would have to first get power somehow. I don't remember exactly how. I think it was through quest or leveling up or something. I don't remember. But once you spent it, then you had to wait hours sometimes for certain things. So you not only had to decide which to spend on what, but then you have to wait like 4 hours up to like 6 sometimes, maybe even more real time in game, right? So I'm glad that they said that. Never do some shit like that again, please. Locations can fundamentally change based on the decisions you make. Ooh. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Especially which every playthrough based on your background and your abilities maybe will play a key into that. I'm all for that, yeah. Side quests are all handcrafted in story. I just mentioned that with The Witcher. Good. Love it. Now, asked about Origin's backstory. Rook's last name in-game is defined by their lineage and backstory. Okay. Your origin a lot during the course of the game, giving you opportunities to define who your Rook was and is, lots of dialogue options. Okay, so yeah, going further into what we talked about the other day, where in Dragon Age 1, you could pick if you were a human royal. I'm assuming they're going to go deeper into that because there are quite a few backgrounds now in Dragon Age. So, cool. Love it. Asked about crafting and customization. You can improve and customize your gear, though it's different than Inquisition. The team teased a mysterious entity that assists players with that. Spoilers. So in Dragon Age 1, you had the dwarf family, the father and his son. One crafted weapons and sold you weapons, and the other was a master at, what do you call it? What do they call it? Runes? Yeah, installing runes. Really cool. Will there be a transmog system? Hell yeah. Good. Love it. Because, yeah, always let players express who their character can be or look like in a game. It's just fun that way, right? Love it. That's about character creator. Very, very deep. Very deep. Like, deep as shit. Okay. Heavy focus on hair, skin tones, full body customization, customize horns if you're Qunari. That's actually really cool. So Dragon Age Inquisition's customization was pretty good, actually. So not even worried. All you can do is more, right? Asked about companions and banter. Most banter we've ever done. Okay. There's new interruptible and resumable banter, so you don't miss anything. Good, because sometimes you can miss something and they might only say it once. Lots of moments where all companions are interacting with each other. Good. Very good, actually. You can change companion outfits, wider range of appearances. The team is very proud of the companion arcs we've ever done, with heavy decisions to make throughout the game. You can also do things that anger your companions to where they could disappear for a time. Disappear for a time. Okay, so if they disappear for a time, I'm assuming they want to do their own thing, basically going down might show back up. If as enemies, I would actually like that, because let's say Sett from Dragon Age Origins, right? There's a couple of points where he decides to question if you're a good leader, and then there's one defining moment where he decides to challenge you in armed combat. And if you defeat him, you can choose to just continue and kill him or expect from then on out. I like that. I can't wait to see more. Asked about 3-person party size. Yeah, because Dragon Age has always been 4, right? The team felt it made for a much more intimate experience. 2 companions gives them more visibility and focus. Yeah, one less, makes sense. More spotlight. Okay. Gameplay. Timing and positioning matter a lot. Ooh, I actually like the way that sounds a lot. Felt like the right balance with Rook's abilities. Actively engages your companions more in combat. Okay, like it, sure. And we know you also get guest characters as well, like Barrick being in the trailer, so that's really cool. I'm happy. Asked about mages. Healing spells return for mages. Wait, were they ever gone? Huh, that's something I gotta look into. I could have sworn mages could. No, I think they actually just gave barriers in Inquisition. Moving on. Mage's successors to Fireball and Cone of Cold attacks are in the game. Okay. Mage specializations: Necromancer, Elemental, and a Combat Mage. I'm never gonna see Shapeshifter again, am I? Damn. On using blood magic. This is spoiler. Let me just say Rook has some real good blood magic. Okay, sure. Yeah, blood magic, I don't remember. No, blood magic was in Inquisition. It was definitely in 1 as well and tied into the story. So blood magic is a very poorly looked at thing in Dragon Age. So I like that. Asked about combat, tactics, and abilities. The game is very tactical, increasingly more important on higher difficulties. Cycle between targets both in and out of combat. Okay. Pause also gives information on enemy weaknesses, resistances. We did see that. Helps a lot to build your party to have detonation synergies. Queue up combo detonate. We're gonna get back to that one. Companions can be spec to revive you if you get KO'd. Good. So it's not just a game over if you die. 3 face button abilities, each for Rook and each companion. Okay. Actually, we're gonna get back to this one as well. That one kind of worries me. The team empathized. There's so much more. like an ultimate ability, multiple rooms that you can acquire that do things like buffs and other things that act like abilities. Oh, okay, so let's go back to this one first. This definitely seems like something they learned from Mass Effect, where Adepts, and I think just Biotics in general, had, what was it called? It was some move where you just threw a ball of light. I think it was meant to get rid of armor or some shit like that. But if you used it with things like Singularity, it would cause the Singularity to explode, doing more damage to the person in it and everything around it, depending on what your specialization for it was. Which isn't bad, but it also kind of makes me sad if it's just that, right? Where I do a move and then someone follows up and it's just damage. I hope not. Once again, next-gen gaming, they've learned from what they've done in other games. I would love it if one of my guys did some sort of fire spell and I followed up with a move and it would spread fire across the field, burning enemies, or even putting them to sleep, paralyzing them. Anything, literally anything than just damage. That would be boring for me, frankly. So anything to just damage, adding other effects to enemies, stuff like that. I would love that. I would love it very, very much. For instance, ice spell, they're getting frozen. Another ice spell, not only guaranteed freeze, but possibly freezing any enemies around them. Oh, now you got my attention. But 3 face buttons, sure. They said it's meant to focus for combos and stuff like that. So I'm assuming more or less every ability you put on will have a combo with something. So we'll only can see what we see, right? Commands can be spec to revive you. That one's interesting. So can allies not die at all, right? Is what I'm asking. And if they can't, then are they always just going to bring me back? That'll be boring, but it sounds like they have a hard mode, so that would kind of defeat the purpose, right? So I'm assuming allies can die, you just don't see their health gauges and they'll more or less heal each other or themselves. Hopefully. Okay. Yeah, and then this. Stuff like around here, things that act like abilities, you know, classic RPG. Final Fantasy 1, you get Excalibur, you hit the enemy, you have a chance to just instant cast Holy, right? Love it. Can't wait to see where they're gonna go. And I love stuff that follows up after each other. So this game does have depth. Very good. Asked about the lighthouse base management, the boring stuff. Yeah. The lighthouse has a unique purpose and function and will change and evolve over time. Ooh. You can also personalize some things. More later. There's no war room table, but there is a table of some kind for a particular reason. There is a table. Beware. Tables. Miscellaneous. Many accessibility features will share closer to launch. Varric's hair is more gray than brown. He's much older. Only seen him in dark scenes, okay? On DLCs. 100% focus on finishing the game, full game, and make it the most complete single-player game they possibly can. Very nice. You can pet and hug Assad, the baby griffin. I remember seeing pictures of him. Travel Songs Return Tavern is called The Swan. Okay, very nice. And then they showed off some pictures. Last bit was whatever, right? But once again, more information that's making me feel a lot better. I'm glad someone asked them a question, went deeper into how abilities were gonna work. Combo abilities was something I mentioned in the last video is that I wanted, and they mentioned that. Glad to see that our background is gonna play a big part into this game. I love that hearing that depending on decisions we make, that some areas will permanently change. And Dragon Age 1 more or less did that. For instance, if you went back to areas where the Blight had kind of taken over but not full takeover, like things would be dead, dying, you'd see other creatures there, right? Really, really fucking cool. Love hearing it. So yeah, I'm satisfied with this. Shinobi 602, once again, make sure you all thank them for summarizing this. And like I said, there's also an hour-long video that I will be putting up in the Discord. So thank you all for joining me. And I know you're from Inquisition. And until next time, please, thank you for joining Lord Sett, the ultimate chaos god. Join me for next time.